Claire. What's
How are
up?
you?
I'm good. I'm just like living life,
Living the engagement life.
Yes, I am. I was picking out bridesmaid dresses this week, and there are a lot of options. And I've decided to go with like varying like shades of plum and violet and lilac for March.
Wow.
So it's going to be very nice.
That sounds really pretty.
Yes, I think so too. And I always was like, how am I going to choose my colors? But then once we picked the venue, like I just started imagining bridesmaid dresses and like some varying shades of purple. And none of my friends have ever done purple before. So I'm like, now is my moment.
And is it like the same dress for everyone or like,
It's going to
like
be,
in different colors or like several
people can
cuts?
pick what dress they feel comfortable in proper on brand with my life is like, I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to pick a dress they're confident in. So I'm not giving them any stipulations around like the cut or anything. I just want it to be full length and then from a specific branded store. So the colors are the same. Like violet in one store might be different violet in another. So it's like giving them the colors they can choose from and then the material and then basically being like, have at it. And so I'm excited for that. I think it will be really nice. And I'm asking them to have chiffon. So they're going to look like purple little fairies, I think. Like
That's cute.
little fairies dancing around the barn,
Your bridal fairies.
Yes, exactly. It'll be so nice. I love them. I'm going to have 2 bridesmaids who are 7 or 8 months pregnant at my wedding. So it will be quite a time.
It's cute though.
I know
So
it's good. I
lovely.
feel like it's a good luck. It's going to be a good luck thing because I feel like maternal presence is very like full of abundance and love and nurturing. And I just think,
Aw.
and I love these women. So I love it. I love their kiddos. And I think it will be cool to be like, oh, that's when little so-and-so is like almost here,
Yeah, that's so cute. How many bridesmaids do you have?
I have like 8 or 9. It's kind of a big group, but that's just my life. I have a lot of cousins. I have a sister. I have close friends I've had since high school. So it's like, there's almost like a list I can't even break. I can't even eliminate anyone else at this point. So I'm very blessed.
It's a nice problem to have.
Yeah, I'm very blessed in the friend department. So we shall see how it goes. But yeah, I've been doing that. What are we even talking about today?
I love how we started with saying like we should keep the chit chat short at the start of the video.
Yeah, I know.
Kinda.
We try, okay? We try. You guys have full control of this video. You can skip this if you want.
Yeah,
So
we always indicate the start of the video in the description. So hopefully you didn't have to suffer through this.
Yeah, suffer through wedding planning conversation. I mean, some people really probably don't want to hear about it, but it's fun. For me, at least. And for you, apparently. So, did you?
I have a million other questions. So,
did you have bridesmaids?
I did.
Yay! Were they like in dresses, like all?
So I literally told them, you can wear whatever you want. Maybe pick a color that is similar. Just be happy, do your thing. That's it. That's all I told them. And then they ended up buying the exact same dress because they went shopping together and they found this one dress that was actually very like different body friendly. So they're very different, but all of them actually liked the dress, like really loved it. And so they ended up buying the exact same dress. And I was like, wow, I did not expect to have bridesmaids that actually looked the same, but fine with me. So they ended up with like an electric blue kind of a color dress.
Okay, cool. I think
and it was like a shorter dress.
Okay. I feel like the shorter dress was definitely in like a few years back.
I don't know. I was just like, I don't care. Like, as long as you're happy and comfortable, like I'm happy and comfortable. So
What a chill bride you were.
I mean, I was less chill in other departments, but actually with the whole like wedding thing, pretty chill. But yeah, so that was how we did it. Also, I didn't have as many people. I don't think I even had enough people to qualify as friends and whatever to have like 8 or 9 people. So I had enough cousins. That's not an issue. I have like a million that like close people that live nearby me that I hang out with and whatnot. I don't know how to say it. It's not that I'm not a friendly person. I promise I am a friendly person, but I cannot deal with like a million friends. I just can't. Apparently I can't because I've never had a big group of friends. So,
Well, my group of friends we can deal with each other because we don't see each other all the time. We all live all over the place. So a few of them live nearby, which is really nice. And I get to see them like, at least once a week. But, I'm not Miss Social Butterfly out every night or every day or whatever. It's manageable.
Yeah, but at the same time, Meg, we know that you're the sunshine person and I'm the little moon. So it's fine. It's also, it's part of who we are and that's okay. Like, it's just how it is.
Tis what tis. Tis what tis.
You are a very good, like, human connector, relationship builder, like that's in your blood. Like,
thank you.
It's who you are. I mean, there's a good reason you're the founder of the Recovery Collective.
That's one of the things I feel like is my strongest value is showing up for people I care about. Like, and I think that's why I end up with the friends that I have. Cause I'm like, your baby's turning 1, I'll be there. It's like you graduated from your master's. I'll sit through the whole ceremony. I will be that person. I show up for the important things. And I think that's just like something I live and die for. I'm like, I need to be there for this person. And I think that's been something I take pride of. And that's what I try to do because I think it matters. So hopefully
it's interesting. It's so interesting because like, actually, like I would define myself as like a ride or die friend. Like when I become friends with someone, it's like either we're friends or we're not, like we're acquaintances. Right. Mm-hmm. And like, I would say like, yeah, I would do all of the things you just listed. I just think that I do have a bit of like social anxiety going on. Like I have a lot of like, barriers to even put myself out there. And then I find it really hard to go past like chit chat. Like I just get so bored or annoyed real fast by like talks that aren't deep and, like engaged and whatever. And also I connect so much better on a one-on-one basis than in a group setting, which means that if I finally grow the balls to show up to like a group event, I end up leaving without feeling satisfied in terms of connection, but that has nothing to do with the humans. It just has to do with my nature, which is I connect over one-on-one conversations.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's just part of the tricky aspects of it. And it's really interesting because, and I know this is not what we had planned to talk about today, but this definitely played a role in recovery, like in my own perception of myself and of how I would seek proof of belonging or of fitting in. And you know what I mean?
So when you had your eating disorder to help you feel like you were going to fit in?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Massively. Like, oh, if you have this kind of a body, if, like people praise you and people love this, like version of success and achievement and being in presence with others. Like I was like, it felt like everything about me was like this performance. Do you see what I mean? Including some of my relationships.
Because you want to be perceived as someone who fits in.
Yeah. And also I'm like, clearly I'm shit because I don't have a lot of friends if I'm just myself. So if I'm this fake version of me, I'll fit in and it'll be fun until it's not because it's not true belonging. And so it still sucks. But that's something you learn as you make the mistakes, I guess.
Yeah. And that's interesting because like my eating disorder didn't stem for the need to belong really because I already had belonging. It stemmed from the need to feel special. So I wanted to deviate a little bit from the people I was belonging with. I wanted to feel special. And I think it was also connected to feeling attractive to the male gaze. So there's a lot of internalized like sexism going on, I think, within my roots, which was also really shitty to go through. So it was coming from a different place, which is really interesting.
Yeah. I wonder how like your group of humans, of friends and whatever, how did they interact with you, contributed to your recovery, or actually were kind of in the way?
It's a really good question. I feel like I was just horrible to them. So I just like caused all of them to have eating disorders. No, not all of them, but there was a contagion thing. So, I'm focused on losing weight. And then I noticed they were more focused on losing weight. And like, I think that was how it became insidious. Like, it was horrible. Obviously, I didn't want that to be the impact, but that was definitely part of it. But as far as recovery goes, like, I did not really talk to them about the eating disorder stuff at all. So I was, like you said, I think you're the same way. Like, I wasn't really out and open about what I was going through with people. So I think if I had shared, they would have been very loving and supportive, but I never actually shared. But we weren't competitive. We weren't people who were like, oh, who's the thinnest, who's the prettiest. Like, we weren't like that. I think we were a bunch of like wholesome, nice girls who would drink tea and like watch movies and have dance parties and do very innocent, fun things together. We were just good kids, So that's how our strong bonds were formed, just being like good kids doing wholesome stuff. It sounds like a parent's dream, but that's really what we were doing all it.
That's nice though, because it sounds like it was genuinely like rooted in authentic connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, that is really special.
Yeah, it was really special. I love my best friends, their family, their kids are like my nieces and nephews at this point. Like, when I have kids one day, they're going to grow up with all of their kids and they're going to be aunts and uncles and cousins for them.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's very genuine connection. They're always welcome anytime at the house and stuff like that. I would babysit. I'm dying for them to like make me babysit.
Now, here's the thing though, because I mean, this will just be its own video, I guess. But I often have conversations with clients where they're going to bring up reasons why, recovery is so hard. And they're understandable, but they're sort of like, oh, this is a barrier, or this is a reason why maybe I can't recover, or maybe this is a reason why, there's so much internal criticism and whatever. And one of them is often like, oh, if I had more friends, or if I had more blah, blah, blah. And it's really interesting because I, as a coach, cannot tell them, oh, no, because I had a bunch of friends and it was totally also hard. Like, I didn't have a bunch of, like, I can't give a lived experience I don't have. But clearly, as like I had not many friends at all. I think I could count them on one hand and not even need the entire hand to count like the people that would actually qualify as friends at the time. And you had way more. And yet you and I both had so much shame and did the thing like in secret and didn't really like use those networks. And I do truly believe that it's a shame because, clearly they were true, authentic friends to you. So they probably would have showed up in ways that they could and whatnot. But it just goes to show how much, and then what? Like, it's not really a barrier. It depends what you do with it or about it, sort of a thing, right?
Yeah, not having friends is not a barrier to not getting better. Like, connection helps you get better. Being able to share about your experience openly and honestly helps you get better, but you can keep your recovery between you and your team. Right? It doesn't have to be this thing that all your friends know about and are supporting you through. Sometimes you might not want to be focused on recovery. So maybe hanging out with your group of friends and talking about, I don't know, homework in class and school and whatever, like that's going to be what you talk about, you know, gossiping about like people at school, like the stuff that high schoolers talk about. Like it doesn't have to be this like, oh, I'm struggling and let me just make this be my identity among everyone here. So yeah.
It's so nice because I love what you're pointing out, how they're going to actually help you indirectly by allowing you to experience who you are beyond their eating disorder piece, by allowing you to maybe experience, you know, how there are all of those other layers. Maybe they will give you opportunities for joy, and that's really hard to come by sometimes in recovery. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, to be completely honest, I feel like also not having that many friends for me kind of felt also safe, because then it didn't feel like I was risking many relationships. Might sound dark, but you know what I mean? Like, because I was genuinely terrified of like those few relationships that I had and being like, but I'm changing so much. Like when we do recovery work, we dig in deep, right? And we redefine who we are to an extent, or we rediscover who we always were. And we change. And when we change, we're risking other people's perceptions of us, right? Or also, if we have people around us, they're going to comment maybe on our bodies or whatever. So I felt like to an extent, the fact that I had not that many friends at all kind of gave me more room, because not many people were going to tell me what they thought about things that were changing, if that makes sense. Because it was hard enough for me to have the few people that did, like, sort of give me feedback. Right. You know, that was hard enough. But anyways, all of that just to say, like, there literally is not one singular thing that is going to make or break recovery.
Yeah, 100%. And I will say this, like, as far as building those friendships, just curious, did you have serious boyfriends throughout high school?
Yes.
I had 0. So while everyone else was
No, but I had 1.
Okay, same thing. Everyone else was investing time into boyfriends. I invested all of my time into friends because my insecurities were related, like I said, rooted in like my worth is connected to how men perceive me. My worth is, you know, I want to be attractive and special to men. So I was like very not stunted, because I ended up dating in college, but it was like my eating disorder was my relationship, almost like took that place. So I will say, like, to the people who are like, why can't I find someone? And they're like young and in high school or college, it's like, hey, you can at least focus on making quality friendships while you like work on the stuff that's making you feel insecurity in the relationship department.
I mean, to be fair, I think that's applicable for any age, but
yeah, fair for any age. But I know when you're young, I feel like it's a collective focus.
Yeah, but it's not the same kind of pressure that I might bump into when I have a conversation with like an adult, where there is more societal pressure that is felt on a different level than you feel it when you're 15. You know?
No, I 100% hear that and see that. I think I was just applying it to like thinking about the younger listeners and watchers who are kind of in the place I was when I had my eating disorder.
No, for sure. 100%. But yeah, so if your eating disorder is coming up with like, I would be able to do recovery if I had many friends kind of a thing. Or I could do recovery if I had a boyfriend and I knew for sure I'm loved. Or, you know, those kinds of justifications. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, that's not a valid excuse. You can
I understand it. Like, I feel it. I totally feel it. Like, of course it feels that way. Of course you want that. But be clear on what is it that you wish you were experiencing, and then get also goddamn clear on how that's not a real barrier to your recovery, and how you might have other ways to seek that, or how recovery will lead to it. That's my point.
Yes, recovery will lead to much deeper relationships. And yeah, again.
Now I will throw in as well, there are things, pieces, contextually, environmentally speaking, that do make recovery easier or harder. Okay. I'm not saying that your environment and your relationships do not impact recovery. They do. Let's be real. Like the kinds of people that you have around you can impact your recovery. Having access to help, to professionals, etc., that can impact your recovery. But there is no like one singular thing that is going to be like, the magic bullet that is going to suddenly solve everything. Because that's the thing that I have an issue with. It's like this magic bullet, idea of, if only this, then everything would be so much easier. Recovery is not easy.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to make it easy.
Yeah. And it's multifaceted, multi-layered. Like you can't be waiting for that one thing to happen so that I can recover, right? It's like you can work towards recovery even when other areas of your life aren't where you want them to be or the connections aren't there. I think it is very important to point out, like, it's beneficial to be surrounded by people who truly love and care about you in recovery. And we encourage you to seek out loving and caring connections and community support in recovery. We're all about community here. So we're not saying it's just, again, that little part of you that's like, well, if I had more friends, maybe I'd recover. It feels like we can work with that, work around it based on the life experiences Anne-Claire and I have both had. So
So that was today's video.
We will talk about what we actually plan next week.
Yes, we will. We actually will. We promise.
I know. Wow. I'm like sitting here like, okay, so we plan all this content and now we're like not going into that at all.
I fully blame you. You went on the bridesmaids conversation.
You asked me questions. No, it's fine. It was a joint. Once I realized we're on this train, I fully hopped on the train.
It was lovely, though, to have this conversation with you. Thank you, Meg. Thank you for anyone who joined this very spontaneous episode today. Please don't forget to comment below if you've got a specific question that you'd like us to consider answering on one of our videos. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next videos. And we'll see you all very soon.
All right. Thanks, Anne-Claire.
Bye.
Bye.